What is up, beautiful humans? My name's Darius, and I am so excited to talk to you about morning pages. Morning pages are honestly one of the most powerful, important, creative practices I incorporated into my life. Once I started doing morning pages about 3 years ago, the creative flow, the energy, the productivity, and straight up the profitability of me as a creator on this planet blew up. Morning pages are easily the best therapy I've ever done, the best business advice I've ever received, the best romantic advice I've ever received. It seriously has impacted my life so much, and that's why I am so enthusiastic and so excited to share this video with you. But before we go any further, for those of you that don't know what morning pages are, let's start there. Conceptually, morning pages are actually incredibly simple. All you need is a pen or pencil, a journal, and a human. That's all it takes. But the truth is, for many of us, myself included, there can be incredible resistance to just getting started. It took me maybe 7 years before I knew about the artist's way to commit to reading and commit to morning pages. There's something daunting about 3 full pages every morning. For some of us, starting's okay, but the consistency of doing it can be a real challenge. So that's why I'm so excited to bring you these 11 tips to help you get started and stay consistent with your morning pages. Before we jump into the tips, if you happen to find value in this video, if you want to see more videos like this, how-to videos to help you continue expressing yourself in the world, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and if you want, share it with some people. Share that love. Here we go. 11 tips. Tip number 1, start with joy. Let's be real. Most of us aren't enthusiastic about waking up 30 minutes earlier. So instead of going straight into my writing in the morning, I give myself something juicy and joyful to do right before my morning pages. For example, I love my morning coffee. And thinking about that as I wake up gets me excited and creates a bit of a ritual in the morning to train my system, my body, my mind, that when these things happen, we're about to start writing. Start with joy. Tip number 2, not all hours of the day are equal. Waking up later in the morning, later in the afternoon, in the evening, and trying to write, I have discovered is much more difficult because there's way more noise on your phone, on social media, in your inbox, in the real world. And it's harder to feel what's real for us later in the day. Yes, if it's a choice between not writing your morning pages or writing them later in the day or in the evening, I'd say write them. But I'm telling you, they're called morning pages for a reason. If you can wake up earlier than the chaos starts in your world, I highly suggest starting them earlier. Tip number 3. This one, honestly, is the best way I know to supercharge your morning pages. Add meditation before you start your morning pages. Now, I know some of you are like, oh man, D, meditation is so hard for me. You don't need to do like a 20, 30-minute meditation. I love doing a 30-minute meditation before I get into my morning pages, but even a 1-minute meditation, just sitting there, taking a couple of deep breaths and starting to feel everything that is alive inside of you is the best way to charge yourself up before you start your morning pages. Tip number 3, a little bit of meditation goes a long way. Tip number 4, warm up your pen, warm up your paper, warm up your fingers. What I mean by that is, just like an athlete, before they start doing the real athletic moves, needs to do the like simple, thoughtless, almost warm-up movements to get things moving. And so the very first thing I write on page number 1 of every morning page is the date. I write the full date and the time. And what that does is it just gets me in the flow of writing. Thoughtless, simple. And that flow carries on to the first actual sentence. So warm yourself up with some simple writing that is also a ritual that my system learns very quickly. Once this happens, that means we're about to start the writing process. Tip number 5, please, please, please do not give a about spelling, about grammar, about making your morning pages look pretty. That is not what this is. This is not writing for anyone else. In fact, you shouldn't even be reading this. This is just opening your creative channels. I write so fast and I couldn't read my writing if I wanted to. In fact, the faster you write, the better. Just go with it. Go with the flow and stop censoring yourself, because nobody is supposed to ever read these pages again. Tip number 5, screw the spelling, screw the grammar, screw looking pretty. Tip number 6. This is a really important one. This is a really hard one. If you do this, it will make a massive difference. No screens. No screens are allowed in the morning page space. So if you're going to bring your phone, I know it's really hard to ask people not to bring their phones. Do one of these. Flip that thing around, turn all the notifications off. I want you to imagine morning pages are like sitting with the best therapist on the planet, or being at a business advisory meeting with the best people in your business. The last thing you would ever want to do as you're getting advice, as you're getting wisdom from these people, is be like, oh, that's a great idea. Hold on. I got to check my Instagram. Just give me a sec. Oh, like. Don't do that. Creativity, inspiration will take that offensively and leave you, right? I would do that if I was talking to you. So you want to turn your screens around and hold this space sacred. Tip number 7, very similar to tip number 6. There should be no people interrupting your sacred morning pages time. No people. As much as possible, you want to keep distractions, your partners, your kids, your whatever is distracting you out of this sacred you time. No people. Tip number 7. Tip number 8. I know a lot of people are like, how do I even start? How do I write 3 pages? It's crazy. I don't know what to say. Don't worry about writing 3 pages. Sometimes all I do to start, just starting the momentum, is I do like a whole paragraph of I feel. You know, it's like, I feel angry. I feel resistant. I feel like this is stupid. I feel excited. I feel grateful. And I just keep writing I feel, and whatever's there. Just sensing, what do I feel? What's actually here? What's accessible to me? So tip number 8, sometimes it's really helpful just by starting with I feel and just keep going, throwing in as many I feels as possible. And then that momentum will take you into wherever is next for you in your morning pages. Tip number 9, I think so many people are intimidated by morning pages because they think about it as one continuous 3-page like essay they're writing. And that is not what the morning pages are. If you read my pages, you'll see that I will jump from idea to idea, from first person to third person, from business plan to poetry. You have permission to jump and be nonsensical and be multiple versions of yourself. Sometimes I write letters to God. Sometimes I write letters to my inner child. Sometimes I write letters to future D. Sometimes future D writes letters to me. Sometimes they're one sentence long. The truth is, you can't mess up morning pages. The point is just to open your channel and create this forward momentum of expression. Okay, listen carefully. Tip number 10. Be gentle, be kind to yourself. I promise you, I don't care who you are and how disciplined you are, you're gonna miss a day. There are gonna be days where it's excruciatingly hard to write. That's okay. Don't give up. Do the best you can on that day. Be gentle and supportive so the process is actually joyful to you. I let myself miss days here and there. I have a rule that I don't need to write on the weekend, for example. I have a rule that it's okay for me to miss one day in the week, but I also have a rule that I never miss 2 days in a row. You get to make your own rule where your hard stop is. But be gentle, be kind. There's nothing serious happening here. This is us expressing ourselves and having fun in the world as creators. So tip number 10, be kind. Tip number 11, like so many things in life, oftentimes we are stronger together. Tip number 11, find yourself an accountability buddy, someone who is committed to morning pages, to self-expression, to growing creatively every single day, and check in with each other, support each other, hold each other accountable. Speaking of accountability, I want to introduce you to a community of morning pages enthusiasts. It's called The Artist Morning. We meet 3 times a week entirely free. It's all done online. We do 3 things. We meditate, we do our morning pages, and we connect as a group. I'll put the link in the description below. Thanks for watching this video. I hope these 11 tips help you as you continue to expand your own morning pages practice. And lastly, if you've got some tips, share them in the comments below. Jump in, share your best morning pages tips. And with that, I'm going to say adios, amigo.